Yeah, after COVID was over, a little bit after that, we heard about a big show that was going to be there. A band called the Hypodermics were reuniting. Wait, no, that wasn't our first show there. Our first show there was Shitty Half Pipe.
And Bolo 1037.
Bolo 1037.
Can't remember who else. Maybe Nerve
Maybe,
Endings?
yeah,
Nerve Endings. They're from
perhaps,
Tennessee.
And Ex-Parents.
Yeah.
I think that was our first show there.
Sounds like a memorable first show.
Yeah, so those are all we're friends with everybody in those bands, so we went to check it out, and it's just a fun little DIY space. They have a quarter pipe in the back that you can skate on while there's shows, and they've just gradually made it better and better, adding a little stage that you can also grind your skateboard on if you do that. And
lots of cool artwork.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Just
the owner, Josh, also owns a tattoo studio in Harrisonburg, so he's got a lot of great tattoo inspired artwork.
Yeah,
painted
traditional style tattoo. Yeah.
Such an excellent tie-in between those three arts. It's been around for a while with skateboarding, tattoo art, and the music all under one house, and a lot of people sharing interest in one or all three of those things. Gives such a great sense of, I would say, healthy community there.
For sure.
I would say the scene at the Flying Panther is the healthiest that I've seen since I've been around.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Definitely. Would agree. It's a very welcoming community, and having all ages shows
is very important.
Yeah.
Oh, very much so. That's been an essential part of, labels are tough, but I'll say punk, hardcore, heavy metal is straight edge is on one end there, and there's their hardcore drugs on the other. And I've always noticed from my experience in that scene where I played in a band and go to a lot of shows and have friends that do or did, is it's the music comes first, or perhaps the skateboarding comes first, and then perhaps the PBR Tall Boys or other things might be there too, but that has always been a part, and going along with the all ages aspect, because of what a great outlet for a young person, especially and also I could add to that the aggressive nature of the music is such an excellent outlet.
Yeah.
So you can do that, and doing that in a safe place, you can frame things as post-COVID these days. So a lot of people wanted to get out of the house, so I could compounding all in one place that had some pretty well-attended shows up to now, one of which was the first one you went to there. And let me restart that camera.
Okay.
Now here mid-riff. The other ones are going, I found with this one, it actually overheats. It's amazing to be able to reel off the memory of the bands there.
Yeah.
It sounded like you could say it was yesterday, and so that, I guess, was a couple years ago and led to a long line of shows.
Yeah, we haven't stopped going since then, and since the Flying Panther is currently on pause. The great promoters in our community have also found some other places to have all ages shows in the meantime, like Blue Ridge Indie Market was a big one.
Spot on Kirk,
and VFW Post 1264 right off Hirschberger. They've all been very welcoming to our scene and cool about having shows there. But there's nothing like the Flying Panther though.
Yeah, I feel like bands came to the Flying Panther and were like, whoa, this is a really special venue,
Yeah.
Oh, indeed, that community grows when someone stops by and has an excellent time. Show going can be a hard draw sometimes, so whether you have a dozen or 100 people there, that sense of the people that are there and their energy bringing people back keeps the continuous growing of the scene there. as that being a headquarters as well with the bands, do you find interest in them wanting to stop by and say hey at you guys to do an interview?
Absolutely.
Is it kind of part of the gig where you go, when you go to a show now, are you like, man, I'm going to interview those guys?
Yeah,
Definitely.
and everybody that we ask always is all about doing it too. We have like a list of people that we need to get back to, but we've definitely pulled a lot of our interviews from meeting people at the shows at the Flying Panther. So,
And then we do some like virtual interviews as well.
That's a definite fine balance.
Yeah.
There, I bet traveling bands are hard to get in a room to sit down with for a minute.
yeah, especially if they're going to another city the next day. So we have to like plan it for the future, or plan it for the next time they come. But more recently, I wanted to give a shout out to our interview with Marissa DeBeese from Mannequin Pussy. That was a really, really big get for us. They're on Epitaph Records, and they're like one of our favorite bands. And so it was like super special for us to be able to talk to her.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
was a big deal.
Artists are some of the most welcoming of people, and giving someone you look up to giving you time like that is something I imagine you'll encounter more and more. And
We hope so.
Indeed, and everyone's famous at all levels. So I imagine some of the bands you interviewed, this is the first time they've been interviewed before.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we like to look at it as kind of like a time capsule for them too. Like, even if they're not on there to promote anything, they can just. It might be fun for them to look back on, like 3 or 5 years later, like
Capture that moment in time.
That archiving aspect is another whole nother level there, and it's a journalistic level of a moment in time. Whether the band goes on to be whatever famous is now, or makes it in some other field, often happens. It's still a capture of someone genuinely engaging in their art, usually at full tilt.
Yeah.
So you get to capture them there, and leading. I'm sure you may have already done repeat interviews when they come back to town, or when you see them outside of town can lead to a longer looks over time.
Yeah. We try to focus mainly on our like local and regional artists, but every once in a while we like to reach out and get something different and cool that
I think it fills an excellent space there that used to be occupied by music magazines and also local newspapers, as well as college radio, too. And now it's so available that having someone that's skilled at it, like from the get you guys are, from your experience going to shows, and now it's been a couple of years, so it's really a testament to how you can make something on your own.
Yeah.
I'd say. How would you describe the Roanoke? I guess it's hard to describe the Roanoke music scene, but are there any certain bands that someone that might not that digs the style of music or not that you would recommend them tuning into? If we're going to roll a song right now, what would you pick first? Or
Would
second
you like
or
to
third?
start, or would you want me to
I
start?
would say Sultry.
Yeah, Sultry
For
and
sure.
Ex-Parents. They
Ex-Parents.
share like a good amount of band members.
What would you say is the best way when you're sharing like we're sharing a song now? Would you recommend the YouTube video, the Spotify track, in the best way to help the band if you were going, like if I was going to roll one right now?
I don't think it matters either way. Like, I think Bandcamp is the best way to listen to music if it's on there, because you can support the artist directly. But
I use iTunes.
I use Spotify,
personally,
so
and I feel bad for that because I know a lot of bands are putting out good vinyls, but I'm too poor to start a vinyl collection right now. So if I can't buy a record, I'll at least try to buy shirts from bands, or their patches or stickers, or any other way I can support them. And then of course by going to live shows and paying
paying to get in.
Yeah. Or just like dropping them a couple bucks if they came out of town or whatever.
I always try to pick up something from the out of town band's merch table if I like